Nation of Fitin10, welcome to day 32. That's right, we're at day 32, not far off from the midpoint of the challenge. And reminder, your next scan will be coming up in less than 20 days. All right, so the next scan comes up pretty fast. So just keep that in the back of your mind. Remember, this is all about consistency. It's all about progression. It's all about trying to do the right things on as much of a regular basis as we can. Not focusing so much on perfection, but trying to stick to all the pillars every day. Doing your best, right? Doing your best and trying to set those standards perhaps higher than you might otherwise be comfortable with, because I know that you are capable of this, right? You are. Okay, so I've talked about, going back a number of days here, I talked about the importance of dietary protein. I talked about the importance of dietary carbohydrates. And now I'm going to talk about the importance of dietary fat, okay? So why might you want to have fat in your diet? And I'll be honest with you, you can survive without carbohydrates. It's going to be a really poor or crummy road if you try to survive without protein or fat, or I should say protein and or fat. So, not that I'm not saying you can't, that not eating carbohydrates is good, okay? But I'm just saying that carbohydrates would be maybe the one thing that's, I wouldn't say is essential. All right, so for fat, why should we be eating fat? Well, number one, it's necessary for lipid-based hormones. All right, we're all running on a certain amount of testosterone, progesterone, estrogen, etc. All of us, males and females. We need this. And other hormones. We need these fats to function as a basis for our sex hormones. And this is really, really important for optimal and balanced hormones of the body. All right, so we want to get all kinds of fat, including saturated fat, by the way. Separate topic we'll talk about in the near future. Number two, necessary for cell integrity. Every cell membrane, I don't even think it's known how many cells are in the human body. When I was in university, they said billions, and now they say it's trillions, but we don't really know. There's a lot, okay? Every single one of those cells has a bilipid fat, bilipid, don't need to, I guess, say fat. It's a bilipid, means it's two layers of fat, and the fat in the cell wall functions to basically, or at least it plays a part in allowing things to come in and out of the cell. Okay, and this is super, super important for communication between cells, which is happening all the time. Okay, and let's not forget tissues. Okay, we're made up of tissues. Everything's tissue, bones tissue, skin's a tissue, muscles a tissue, your organs are tissues. These are going through breakdown and rebuilding constantly. All right, so we want to make sure that we get an ample amount or a decent amount of dietary fat in your diet. Number three, satiety. All right, fats are satiating. Okay, unlike carbohydrates, typically speaking, fats are satiating. So this is going to help to keep you fuller. Number four, fats reduce the release of sugar into the bloodstream. Remember how we talked about how this is important for stabilizing blood sugar levels? Also allowing you to become a little more insulin sensitive. All right, talk about, just think of that as a good thing. Think about that as the opposite of being diabetic, at least partially. Number five, we need fats for the absorption, or I should say really the solubility of vitamins A, D, E, and K. All right. So we want to make sure that we have adequate amount of fat in the diet so that we can absorb, we can utilize vitamins A, D, E, and K. Very, very important. Dopamine and acetylcholine production. This is really, really important for, for a number of things, but probably the most standout one in my mind would be brain function. Okay, so we want to make sure that we have enough fat in the diet for dopamine and acetylcholine production. And just as a side note, fats have the lowest thermic effect. It takes the least amount of energy to digest fats. That's maybe the only downfall. Well, I guess there's I don't want to say downfall, it just is what it is, but unfortunately they don't have a high thermic effect like protein. All right, only a 2 to 3% thermic effect. That is only about 2 to 3% of the calories in fat goes towards digestion of fat, okay, or cost against digestion of fat. Okay, message of the day on this day 32. Speaking of progression, like we did in the beginning of this video, progress is connected with action. Progress is connected with action. If you keep actively trying, you're going to progress. All right? Those who progress make mistakes. It's inevitable. You will make mistakes, but they don't what? They don't quit, right? Those who continue for progress. I substitute the word success in here because I don't like the word success. It really kind of means like an end point, but really we're always kind of working towards progression, right? So I don't want to say success here. I want to say progression. But those who continue to progress, they will make mistakes. Inevitably, everybody makes mistakes. It's the way it is. It's part of the whole process of progression. It's just what happens. In some ways, you can look at it as you getting closer to more progression by making mistakes. The key here is that you don't quit, right? You don't quit. All right, positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself. And for the love of God, give some gratitude. And I'll talk to you all tomorrow.